Let's move on to the myths in Forex. Now, the first myth out there in Forex, and this is what I came across when I started Forex also. Number one, it's only for people who are math geniuses. I can tell you this is the biggest myth, one of the biggest myths in Forex. Because also, at first, when I heard about Forex, that's many years ago. And unfortunately, at that stage, I wasn't interested. I wasn't right to just go and investigate it and get into it. I mean, I would have been, absolutely well away if I started off at that time. But I'm absolutely convinced that it wasn't the right time. So the first thing I thought, no, this was for people that was first in the class, or had maths as a subject in school, or, that loves, financial services and all this stuff that you hear on the radio, on all the radio stations. At a certain time of day you can hear there's some very highland people that tell you about the market indicators and all that stuff, which I just listen to it and I can't make out anything up until now what they're talking about. So that one is totally a myth. You don't have to be a math genius. That's for sure. I can guarantee you that. The next myth, they say it's very complicated. It is so complicated. I can tell you the first time I walked into somebody else's office and I saw his screen, and I saw on the screen, I saw the charts there with all the lines and things, and I thought to myself, goodness, how on earth, this guy must be a genius. I mean, that's the only thing, and I was immediately looking at him with huge respect in my eyes, because if he could read what's on that chart there and on his screen, he must be absolutely, it was looking so complicated. And I thought to myself, yeah, no, this must be really complicated. And unfortunately, this is one of the myths that really trips a lot of people on their way to success, or possibly big success. They think it's very, very complicated. Yes, the same which Mateus says there. It is a lot of screen clutter. And sometimes the best way to do it, I'll always remember what Einstein said, make it simple but not simpler. Life is simple. Why do we have to go and complicate life in any case? And if you get to somebody that's a trader and he wants to really impress you by telling you all this high names and things like that, showing it around there to impress you, I can tell you he's not worth telling you anything. So, so these things happen. I got to some of my friends after they saw my success, and they asked me just to show them here, there, and the other. And my one very close friend of mine, I've spent 1 hour with him. And after I finished that hour with him, he said to him, I have paid more than $5,000 to spend 7 hours with somebody. So he charged me more than $5,000 for that 7 hours. And I've learned more from you in 1 hour, which is for free, than I've learned in that 7 hours. So yes, there's a lot of guys out there that's out there for making the money. And unfortunately, that's so. The next myth that we're looking at, absolutely, Miller Smith says here, the word keys, keep it simple and stupid. That's absolutely so. No, you're absolutely on the right track there, Miller. So the third thing, it's like gambling, which means it's based on luck. I can tell you there's nothing further than the truth in that. So, if you think it's gambling, I can tell you now, you should just go and think again, or go and re-look at the information that you get, because you must have read it wrong somewhere. Gambling is like when you flip a coin. You flip a coin and say, well, heads I'm going to go up and tails I'm going to go down. And this is not what it's all about. So this is about getting a system, learning a system, started to read the markets. And I can tell you the one thing, another myth here also, which I've not got onto this list, is that people can 100% read the market. So the other myth, maybe I should just as well tell you about it, is that myth that there's a holy grail out there. There is no holy grail out there. No such thing. So you will never ever in your life get a system that gives you 100% winning rate. Never ever. Forget it. Don't try and do it. So the best thing is, say to yourself, this is a business. The same myth is in normal business is by saying you will always make profit and you will never ever in your life experience any losses in your business. That's a myth. I mean, a normal business. Let's take a normal grocery business. I mean, how many stuff gets lost there because of people just stealing it? How many stuff gets lost there by a fire? How many stuff gets lost there by, the staff just breaking something? So there's a lot of stuff out there that can happen to you. So you will definitely experience losses. For sure, I can guarantee you that. So in any business, it's like that. So don't let anybody tell you that, and don't let anybody tell you that. Listen, out there is a holy grail. There's out there a system and a way to trade forex that you can just everything you do is just profit, 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 profit. So please don't believe that. So it's not gambling. In Forex, when I teach people, is you go and I learn you to get an edge onto the market. So you will still experience your losses here, there, but the main thing is you will make more profits than you will make losses. And that's the point. That's the point in any business. I mean, if you look at any statement of any business, they've got two columns there. They don't have just one column saying this is profits. They've got one column saying profit and the other column saying losses. So if there's no losses in a normal business, why would they have that column? So it's the same in Forex. You've got your profit column and you've got your loss column. So it's the way you handle it. And this is the way that I want to teach you how to handle some of that stuff, or the way that you can do it. The next point is easy money. There's no such thing as easy money. Absolutely not. If there was easy money, the whole world, 6.5 billion people in the world, would all be doing Forex. So there's no such thing as easy money. The point is, the term easy money means that you can easily go out there and just, put in a trade and you can just draw the money and you're out of there. So there was no effort, absolutely no effort at all. So please, there's no such thing. You need to put in effort. You need to learn stuff. You need to practice stuff. There's a lot of things that you need to do. You need to overcome your emotions. You need to do a lot of things to do that. And yes, Tess here says again, I love the interaction here. He says, keep your losses smaller, and that is the absolutely truth. Keep your losses as minimum as possible. And I'll also show that during this webinar. I hope to get that in here. Number 5, you need to have a lot of business knowledge and about how the markets work. It's a myth. I mean, you don't need to be this expert, and it's the same with the math about being a math genius. You don't need to be this businessman and being involved in financial services or know the markets or stuff like that. I'm not sure in your countries, but in our country, if news is coming up, they've got the business input there on the news, and then they tell you what is the dollar compared to your currency in your country, and where's gold now and where's silver now. I mean, to me, that's boring stuff. Some people find it very interesting, so I don't even make note of that. I mean, it's because, as far as I'm concerned, that's old news. I already had that news a day earlier. So if you go on that news, you'll go on totally old news there. So please, you don't need to know a lot about the markets or being this, this interested guy in markets and how the stock market is working and stuff like that. No, not absolutely no. So the other myth in Forex is not everybody can do it. It's not for everyone. That's also a big myth. I can tell you now, anybody can do Forex. If I can do Forex, I've been a farmer for 17 years and I've been in teaching for 14 years. And I mean, if I can do Forex, anybody can do it. If I need to tell you about my school career and how I struggled at school, I've never been first in class. I was always the guy that's about last in class. And, if I can just describe this for you, you will be absolutely amazed. So if I can say to you, listen, you don't have to be number one in the class. You don't have to be this high IQ guy. You don't, nothing at all. So then you will understand 100% what I'm saying here. The fact is, anybody can do it. If a farmer can do it, anybody can do it. And please, no offense to farmers. Farmers is highly intelligent people. Maybe I haven't been, not one of those highly intelligent ones, but no, I know myself, and I just know enough to help myself. So, but if I could do it, anybody can do it. So let me absolutely tell you that is a big myth there. Number 7, you need a lot of money to start. And I think I've just lightly touched on this myth in some of the previous points there. That's a myth. I can tell you now, you can decide, listen, I want to start off, with a $1,000. I want to start off with $100. I want to start off with what, but it all depends on how many time you're going to give yourself to build up to that point. You know, some people that start a business, they put everything in there. They sell their house, they do this, that, the other, and they prepare to live under the breadline for the next 6-7 months in a normal business until the business starts taking off, and then they start getting money in from the business again. Yes, I think it's the same thing there. And while I'm on this question here, while I'm on this point here, I see there's Nico is saying here, they say 95% of traders fail. Well, that is the statistics. Well, I've learned that you cannot always trust the statistics, but let's say that's true, and I think maybe it could be close to true. The reason for that, I can give you a number of reasons for that. People believing in a quick fix. While we're on myths, so that's a good question to handle right here. While we are on myths, people think you jump into Forex, you check the chart, you buy a system, you take the system, you quickly run through the system, you watch the videos, you jump onto Forex, you take your life-earned, hard-earned money, put it into Forex, and you're off and you're in, and the money is going to roll in. And guess what? After you blew your first account, or after you made one loss, after the other loss, after the other loss, what happens? You get out of it. You say it doesn't work. But how long did you give Forex really a chance? I mean, let me use the same example as I used now, of the Grand Prix. I mean, you go, picture this, you go over to Ferrari and you go and put an application in there, you want to be a racing driver, you think that you'll be really doing well because you've watched Michael there on TV and it doesn't look that difficult. You think you can do it, okay? So he said, great stuff, he'll give you a manual and 4 videos, and you should just watch that manual and go through the videos and come back in a month's time and we'll give you a car of about $5 million, or I don't know how much that car is worth. And you go into the car and thank you, part of the team, welcome. What do you think is going to happen on the first corner? I mean, so it's amazing. You're going to crash that car. You're going to really crash that car. And I can tell you that will be the end, absolutely the end of your short living career in the Grand Prix circuit. So the point that I want to make is this. You cannot just jump in there and quickly go out there and try it. And well, I've tried my best. That was not your best. Come on, be honest, that wasn't your best. And unfortunately, this is where that 95% comes from. And you know, the sad thing though is those people walk away there because it's never your fault. Never your fault. You'll say, no. I mean, I'm a brilliant guy. It's not my fault. It's Forex. The problem is with Forex. You know, that's the thing. So, yes, you will get a huge wake-up call there saying, listen, pal, you're going to blow your money. So, let's look at the next one. Robots make money. Well, I'm not a believer of robots, and maybe there could be a huge debate out there, but I can tell you one thing. I don't believe that you can just put a robot on there and you put live money in and the robot will make money for you. I mean, if there was such a thing, I mean, how easy could it be? We would have all wanted to get out there and buy robots and put money in, and voila, we've made the money. So I'm telling you now, there is no such thing that robots can make money now. But the problem is, though, there's a difference between the banks and our small traders, okay? Because we in the, money-wise, we are absolutely in the minority. I mean, the banks and the huge hedge funds, those are the guys that moves the market, and they've got the money out there. So what they can do, they can implement the robot, and the robot works. But what happened? The market is a thing. I mean, you can call it a living thing. It works on itself. But the point is, the market is never the same. So the market, nobody can, can predict what the market is going to do. So your robot might work for the first month, 2 months, and afterwards it's not working. But what is the edge that the bank have? The bank have a lot of robots in there. The first thing that they see when the robot doesn't make money, they withdraw it out there from the market. They give it to their IT guys, which they've got a lot of because they pay them, and big, good IT guys. They check the robot, they go and see what the market does, why it does that, make a few alterations, test it, see, okay, it's working well, could give it back into the market, maybe it will work another month or something like that. So, no, I don't believe in robots. I don't think a robot, can make any money as far as I'm concerned. I mean, maybe a month or so, but after that, I'm sorry, I don't believe that it could make any money. Number 9, a $97 product will make you millions. Guys, that's another thing. I mean, if you think a $97 product will go out, you go out there and you will just learn it and go into the market and it will make you millions and millions of dollars. Unfortunately, it's just not so. I mean, if I can start comparing cars to each other, I mean, if you look at the big German luxury cars and you compare that to some of the other, entry-level cars, I mean, there's just absolutely a difference. Yes, it might bring you from point A to point B, but I mean, the luxury, in between and what you experience and things like that, that is the difference. That might just set you off into Forex and start learning you the basic things. But I can tell you, you're going to be frustrated very quickly and you're going to be back to square one. And you're going to be looking for the other $97 product and the other one. And eventually you are at a product that cost you $1,000 or $2,000 or whatever the case may be. So, yes, that's a myth. That's an absolute myth.